Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Chieftain, the T95 FV4201. It's a crossover version of the Chieftain turret on top of a T95 American hull, and it's located on the north spawn, or I should say the east spawn, of Westfield, and it's under the command of Awppenheimer. Okay, we've got two replays for you together in this video. First one features the Chieftain. The second one features, well, the Soviet OP heavy tank, the Object 279E. Now this tank has got a 120mm main gun, capable of doing 440 alpha, penetrating 270mm with standard ammo, but Awppenheimer's loaded the premium, the APCR, capable of doing 322mm of pen, and the standard fire rate is 10.07 seconds. Awppenheimer's got it down to 7.64. Okay, you can see this is the L11 main gun. It's incredibly accurate. He hasn't opened fire on the enemy yet, but he's about to, and he's going for that Ho-Ree. He didn't get a penetrating shot with his first shot, but he did get assist. That's penetration. It's a low roll for 416. Now this tank does have 10 degrees gun depression. Oh, another parting shot, and we bounced the 60 TP round of 152mm round off the top of our turret. Pumps around back into an IS-4 side. Yeah, the 60 TP's got a long reload. Oh, IS-4 gives us his side again, and the 60 TP bounces another round off the top of this turret. Now, what gives us this turret its strength is the fact that it's a rather well-curved, moulded turret. And you can see that it's literally bouncing rounds left, right and centre from the enemy, because, of course, it hits this curved armour, it just bounces off, because it's so well-shaped that it's almost like hitting a ricochet every time, or just blocking the shot. The front of the armour is 350mm. And another round bounce from the IS-4 this time. So you can see it's incredibly effective. This gun and the turret that it's mounted on, superbly effective. This tank is very, very OP. Trying to get the cupola, but in fact he settles for the side of the turret when he was side onto us. And punch that round through. Goes for it again, gets the turret ring, but oh! At last he takes a hit, and it was a heat round through the lower hull, the lower plate. And he's not going to put up with that. He's going to pump another round into the enemy, fires one into the Rhinoceros, gets a high roll for 469, goes for the 60 TP again, and he gets another high roll, 463. He's playing it very, very well indeed. He gives us the side of his turret, almost not thinking about that he was doing it, but he's out the game now. So Awppenheimer's got his first kill, and yep, pumps another one into the 277 this time. Watch out for that E100. He's looking for the chance to put a round up here. Oh, we couldn't fire until then, and he gets the kill shot and takes out the Rhinoceros. Now we've got an E100 or E100 down here, and a Centurion Action 10, and our teammates are indicating go for that target. The T95 wants it. He pumps one in, which tracks the guy, and he's now out the game. The Centurion Action 10 is a lot further away than I thought he was. He's actually on the ridgeline, so he's going to have to motor a bit to get to him. First shot fails to penetrate, but the guy's pulling back. He knows he's in danger. In fact, he's about to meet a task force, and yeah, he doesn't like it. He's running away. We did take one round in the tracks, but ooh, we get one big hit. The Centurion did take a hit. No, what happened there? One of our teammates just went right over the top of us and took out the enemy tank by flattening him. We want to see that one in the replays, because that must have been incredible. Okay, CS63, this is the last enemy. Can we get the kill shot? No. Unfortunately, we don't get the kill shot. That goes to the IS-7. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class tanker for Awppenheimer in the T95 FV4201 Chieftain. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a shield proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6 on this one. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, and he also got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate on that game was 5,142, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he definitely got the highest damage, 6,301 hit points of damage. Second highest damage turned out to be the Super Conqueror with 4,279 hit points. And in third place was the T110E5, who got 3,925 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, it was the E5 who did the best with 4 kills. The IS-7 got 3, one of them by jumping on top of Awppenheimer and then squashing the enemy to death in the process. And 2 kills went to Awppenheimer and also to the Centurion Action 10, the tank that was squashed to death at the end of the game. In fact, only 5 members of the enemy team actually managed to get kills in that game. When it came to base XP, it was Awppenheimer, yep, so he got the top in 2 of the columns, but missed out on the number of kills. 1,277 base went to Awppenheimer, 1,129 went to the E5, and 1,079 went to the Super Conqueror on his team. So, yes, they were the top 3 players, and Awppenheimer was top of them. They were the only ones to get over 1,000 base. He fired 21 rounds in the game, got 18 direct hits on the enemy and 14 penetrations rather. 6,301 hit points of damage, of which 880 were more than 300 meters. So most of the damage was done at close range. 8 hits received from the enemy, only 2 of which actually penetrated, and 6 non-penetrations, 2,770 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and did 2,283 hit points of spotting assist in the game. Now, he actually suffered a loss from this game, mainly down to the fact that he had premium ammo throughout the game, and also because he used consumables, and he didn't buy them at cheap price, so he had to pay for them at the end of the battle, and that meant that he actually ended up with a loss of 64,597 credits for the game. But he did get 7 bonds, and he also picked up 3,927 experience points in the game as well. He said something interesting happened at the end. Yeah, I'll show you the clip right now, and you'll see exactly what happened. So you can see at the end of that game, the IS-7 leapt over the top of the cliff and it landed right on top of Awppenheimer, and he then proceeded to drive over the top of Awppenheimer and squash to death the Centurion Action 10. The problem was that Awppenheimer lost enough hit points in the ram on the Centurion Action 10 that he might have actually been taken out altogether by the IS-7 landing on top of him with such force. But for the fact that, of course, there wasn't team damage left in the game at this point, yes, he survived the game without any damage, but I'm pretty sure that that IS-7 possibly could end up going blue if he continues to do team damage the way he did. Anyway, let's have a look at the second replay in the Object 279E. And we're on the northeast spawn of Highway in the Object 279E. Well, you only earn these tanks from the personal missions. This is a second set of personal missions tank for the last set of reward missions or campaign medals, can make campaign missions. The Object 279E is very OP, just like the Chieftain, but the Chieftain you have to play Clan Wars to get it, whereas this one anyone can get if they play enough battles. Now, it's armed with a 122mm main gun, and it's capable of 440 Alpha with standard ammo. It'll do 258mm of pen, and with the heat rounds, it'll do 340mm of pen. And with HE rounds, 530 Alpha, 68mm of pen. Our T10 is actually giving us a bit of a help to get to the city quickly. Now, what's unusual about this tank is there's no hull underneath or just over the top of the tracks. Well, There's no lower hull at all, because the tracks are connected to the hull via the suspension system, and the suspension system is basically outside the main compartment. So there's more room inside the vehicle for the crew and for ammunition and the like. It's a novel idea. They came up with the blueprints in 1947, 1948, and they built one functional prototype in 1948, but they didn't put it into mass production. It's got 4 sets of tracks, so it can keep moving, even, well, in theory it could have kept moving like the Yo tanks if one set of tracks was knocked out, but in the game, it can, you knock out the tracks, the thing has to stop. But it makes this tank very, very difficult to pen, because there are very few weak spots on this tank indeed. Got very heavy arm at the front, 330mm on the front of the turret, and 185 on the front of the hull. Okay, enemy tank, hello, pumps around into the Lorraine 50. Just trying to get a shot there. Oh, we took a clobbering shot there from the Lorraine 50-ton tank. But we pulled back. Okay, we've got a shot here. Yeah, TS-54 retreating. Just didn't think what we could be looking through that gap. Okay, so we're punching in. T-54 takes another hit, but we do take a round in the tracks. We had to fix them to pull back. He's going for the lower plate. Punches the hole straight through for 428 low roll. Okay. Gets the AMX 50B as he pulls back. Looks like the Type 4 wants to brawl. Not a good move. He will take damage if he does. He's trying to side scrape on the corner. Yeah, we'll just punch straight through you then. And that's a high roll for 451. So we're going to side scrape, or are we just going to go in? We're just going to go in. That's another penetrating shot, another high roll, 463. Next shot will be the kill shot. Hello. Goodbye. He's back in the garage. Yeah, Type 4s are not impenetrable. Now we've got this Lorraine 50-ton by the rear. And he's out the game. Okay, pulling back. The T10 is actually using us as cover. I think actually Awppenheimer's got it in mind to actually go back to his own cap area, because there's a large force of enemy tanks up the northwest corner of the map, and there's relatively few down this end, so it does look as if he's leaving his teammates to go after the enemy cap whilst he returns to save his own cap. Now he's already up to 4,060 hit points of damage. You can see how OP this tank really is. Even though he took a hit there, that's the Lorraine on the right side. I think the one on the left side may have been a shot from one of the others, but of course you can see it actually hit the tracks. Okay, we've got a shot in the ISU 152. Can we get a hit? Yes. Nice. 397 low roll. But we're not keeping him in the crossfire because he's getting hit from one direction and we'll go for the other. Oh! Went right over the top of him. But he's a one shot now. We can get the kill if we can get this one in. No, he pulls into cover. He's underneath the bridge. But he didn't pull back out now. If he does, he's toast. And he knows it. Now, if we go beyond this bushes, we'll get spotted by the enemy. And there is a Leopard 1 nearby. We don't want to get hit with his 105mm gun. So we're kind of stuck here for the moment. We could pull back. There's the Leopard. Okay, we'll go for him instead. Nice hit. High roll, 519. Loading another AP. Another hit, and it's a kill shot as well. That's his third kill of the game. Okay, the Leopard's gone, which means now we can push forward from this position, even though we're cutting across an open field. Oh, There's a fox over there. He did fire in our direction, but Awppenheimer just fired one quick snapshot back and took him out. Now we're being hit by an SDA-1, and we fire one back at him. The T69 hits us in the tracks. It's a case of anybody who wants to come and have a go, think you're hard enough. And he got a high roll on that one, 467. The AMX50B did get a hit, and he's got two shots, and I think they hit because they went in through the upper plate at the right angle. There's only 4 enemies left. I think Awppenheimer is headed for the highest concentration of enemy. The AMX50B is still up there, but I think he's reloading. That's why he couldn't fire more than the ones he did. Yeah, I get the feeling Awppenheimer's headed towards the cap area, and then he'll try and defend again. Oh, the Jagdtiger changed positions. He moved south. Doesn't tell us where the VZ176 is. Oh, now we know. And he's looking right at us. One quick snap into him, and we get a hit. 499. It's a high roll. Keep pushing on. Already up 6,500 hit points. We're going to get more so long as that AMX50B doesn't try and shoot us in the side. Okay, VZ176 takes one in the side. Low roll, 410. We can get him through that gap when he appears. Is he going to appear? No, he knows he's in trouble. It's kind of enticing us to come forward. Okay, now he's taking fire from another direction. We're turning our son onto him. Oh dear, he's gone down. Now we're trying to get that last enemy, the AMX50B, the Jagdtiger and the Scorpion. They are directly ahead of us. We want the AMX50B if we can get him, because he's the one who took the most hit points off us. Oh, there he is. Hello. Can't get our gun depression down. 5 degrees of gun depression. It's terrible on gun depression, this tank. Fix the tracks. Puts one into the AMX50B, kills him. Now he's just got to reload and tear the Jagdtiger apart. Another one in, high roll, 454. He's now 2-shot. And it goes down to the Skoda T56 with a double tap. Now there is only one enemy still left alive, and he's in our cap area. So we're going to go in the cap anyway and out-cap him, just in case the Shrek doesn't get to him in time. This game is going to be won by us, by Awppenheimer. He's obviously got the most damage in this game. And we're about to cap out. They've got to reset. Now we could decap, but we're not going to do that. We're going to end the game here and now. And it's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats. That was the first class tanker for Awppenheimer in the Object 279E. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 enemy tanks. In fact, he ended up with 5 in this one. One short of getting a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. A spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, as well as a fire effect for doing more damage to the hit points for his own vehicle. And a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 8 in this one. He also got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. A Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And finally, he got a steel wall as well for blocking the most damage in that game overall. I said this thing is very OP on armor. 7,599 was the win rate of this one. Super Unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, definitely got the highest damage, 7,687 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer only had 2,838. That was the Leopard 1 he took out. And in third place, we've got the Lorraine 50 ton, 2,725 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, Awppenheimer got that one as well. 5 kills to him, 2 kills to the Skoda T56, who took away the last kill in the vicinity, the Jagdtiger. And the Shrek also got 2 kills, so did Basante C45 on his own team. Only one player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was their Scorpion. And yet again, only, what was it? Oh, actually, quite a few players on the enemy team did manage to get kills in this one, so it wasn't surprising. But the rest of the team who did get kills only got a single one each. When it came to base XP, Awppenheimer's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,363, he's the only one to get over 1,000, with the next highest scorer being the Skoda T56 with 948, and the Bisonte, who also got the same base XP. So, let's have a look at detail. 22 shots fired, 21 direct hits, so good accuracy, and 20 penetrations. Just goes to show these shells really do penetrate rather nicely. 7,687 hit points of damage, of which 1,930 were at more than 300 meters. So, a fair bit of damage done at long range. 12 hits received from the enemy, only 3 of which actually penetrated, and 2 of those shots came from the AMX-50B. In fact, actually, 3 of the shots, all 3 penetrating shots, came from the AMX-50B. What am I saying? He fired 2 from the hill downwards, but he also caught us with 1 shot when we were in the city area. He also got 9 non-penetrations, 3,130 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 1,119 hit points of damage assistance, and 22 cap points whilst we were in the area. Now, he actually suffered a loss for this game of 24,927 credits, but he did have to resupply consumables because he couldn't buy them at half price when they were cheap. And, of course, he did use some premium ammo, but not a huge amount, because you get quite a lot of penetration with standard ammo in this game. 7 bonds, because it was tier 10, and he also took away 4,191 experience points altogether. So, yes, that was definitely a carry by the Object 279E. Just goes to show how OP it can be. But it is vulnerable if you can get the shots in from the right angle. And the AMX-50B, being elevated, was able to shoot down from the top of the hill and catch the frontal plate at just the right angle for the shells to punch their way through. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. This one with the carry, and of course the previous one with the Chieftain, which is a really OP Clan Wars reward tank. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.